What's going on, guys? I'm back with a brand new series review for you guys, and I just watched season 2 of The Flight Attendant, starring Kelly Cuoco, Zozaya Mamet, and Rosie Perez. First of all, let's speak about my triumphant return to HBO Max. All right. Yeah, I know last time I was talking about, I might have to cancel all my subscriptions, blah, 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 blah. But I have HBO Max right back in my grasp. Okay. And I'm very, very excited about that, because the last thing that grabbed me was The Peacemaker and Raised by Wolves season 2. Okay. Other than that, it was just a long journey of nothingness. I just couldn't see anything. Yeah, I know. But I don't care, and I don't want to do a review on that. So it's not happening. Moving right along, all right? Because now we have shows like Barry season 3. All right. If you remember, I did a review on Barry season 1 a long time ago. I didn't do season 2, but I can do a quick recap before I do season 3. No problem. We're just gonna have to wait for it to finish off. Once it's finished, I'm so on it. I'm so on that. Trust me. All right. Then there was The Time Traveler's Wife. Okay. This show concept, pretty much this guy has this ailment or illness, we want to call it that, where he time travels without his own consent, or anybody else's for that matter. And it's messing up his life and his love life. All right, as you can imagine. Sounds like a good show. All right, I just hope it's not too sappy or sad or anything like that, because I don't have time for the lame stuff. I really want to get into this concept alone. Then there's shows like The Baby. No, not That Baby. The Baby. It was pretty much about this girl from Europe or England. It's a very British show. And she finds this random baby out of nowhere who just happens to have these deadly powers. And it's killing everything in its path. And she has no idea why. I'm already hooked. The stakes are already high and I'm already hooked. Okay, I need to find out what's going on with this show. Okay? So far, everything's looking promising. The potential looks pretty good with this. And for now, we have season 2, The Flight Attendant. My question is, will it be just as good as the other ones? Just as promising as the other show we just talked about? Or not? We're about to find out. Let's go. Flight Attendant season 2. For those who don't know, for those who are not aware, if you don't know about Flight Attendant season 2, and you had HBO Max this whole time, you're on a drinking binge. You're drunk as hell. You're out of you're plastered out of your mind. You don't know what's going on. You don't know reality from fiction right now, because this has been advertised for quite the while now. HBO Max. Don't play me. Don't play me. All right. Flight Attendant season 2. It's pretty much leading off of season 1. All right, where she's finally officially made, part of this little CIA program, whatnot. She's helping CIA out right now. So she's a flight attendant and she's a CIA worker. Okay, not in the action field, but she's just kind of, the trailer. She trails things around, she leads people in on what they need to know, stuff like that, right? On top of that, she was also getting help for her drinking. Okay, so she was taking those AA classes like she needed to do. Okay? Knowing all this, something tragically happens in her life once again. And we also have on the loose a double of her. Somebody's trying to be her. So while this is going on, it all kind of leads her back down some kind of crazy trail once again. And that's our premise for season 2. Okay? Positives. There's a theme going here because for season one, she was speaking to the dead body's conscious somehow. The guy who got killed in season one, I woke up in her bed and this guy was dead right next to her and blah, 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 blah. She was speaking to his spirit somehow, right? But now for season two, she has these different images of herself as her conscious. All right. She has the quote unquote slutty one. She has her childhood conscious. She has her depressed conscious. She has her future conscious of what could be. And then she has the conscious of her. I'm not sure if that was a depressed one or not. I'm confused with that one. But my favorite conscious out of all this, the slutty conscience, okay? Or should I say party girl? I'm sorry. I'm going to say party girl for right now. She's the party girl conscious because she's so blatantly honest. She's just honest. This is the demon she's fighting. That's the main one that she wants to confrontation with. Okay? That's the one. That's the only one that matters really. And yes, there's the child conscious too. There's her childhood. Because it seems like her as a child has more common sense than her older one. Okay? And that doesn't make any sense. But it just, all the things that the child, her kid self says, just makes a lot of sense within itself. All right? And I respect that. I can do without the depressed one. I can really do without that one. Another one. There's a moment in this show where her life begins to go right back down that dirty, nasty trail it was on season one. Okay. I'm not going to say when it pops off, when it happens, but let's just know that everything she was dealing with and fighting with comes right back to her tenfold. All right. And this part, the exact part where it happens, I don't really see it coming until it's already happening. Okay. You notice other people with your situation or your problems, and you want to comfort them. What do you think would be the right way to comfort them? Let's just think about that. When this scene pops up and it happens, and you're not going to know what's going to happen until it happens. All right. But just think about what you would do. A normal person would do to comfort this person. Okay. And then see what she does. And this just kicks off a lot of stuff that she was trying to fight for a long time. And I like it because this is when things get interesting again. I was rooting and I was hoping for that version of her to just come on back. All right. But when it happens, you'll know. All right. Another positive about this that I liked. This, especially with the lead character, of course, this had a lot of drama to it. The dramatics in this show was so strong. Only for the lead character. I gotta reiterate that. Only for the lead character. Other people not so much. We'll get into that later on. But for her dealing with her mother and her family issues and situations, especially the trail she goes on, once she just falls back down that rabbit hole, it gets really messy. All right, and there's a lot of crying, and there's a lot of feelings spilt out, a lot of sorrow and pain, and other people falling in the path of her destruction once again. You know, and then it brings the mother back into this, and there's a lot of powerful lines between her and her mother, and you know the dynamic between her brother, and her mom and her father, and how all that went down. And it's very, very important to kind of analyze what's going on there once you see her go back home to unexpectedly visit her mother. All right, just watching that. So many things that one would say is out of line, but then again, it's so true. All right, so it got deep. It got really deep, and I appreciate the show for stuff like that. I appreciate it very much. Negatives. Let's get into those negatives, man. One thing that I can't help but notice once you just get into the show, it takes a long time, a very long time to get good. And what I mean by that, of course, once she starts going back down her bad trail, all right? Because anything before that is just like, okay, I hate to be the negative person here, but when is the crazy messed up stuff gonna start happening? All right, we're solving crimes and blah, blah, blah. You need to find out who's imitating you and da-da-da. That's cool to know, whatever. But I want to know if you're going to be strong enough to fight your demons through this whole season. And it took a minute. It took quite the while. A lot of other stuff I did not care about at all. I'm just going to be honest with you. And I wanted them to just hurry up, get that stuff rolling, get it out of there. Let's get to the good. It took too long. Another problem I had about this, the lack of action in season 2. In season 1, there's a lot more going on. A lot more fighting, a lot more blood, a lot more shooting, a lot more just excitement going on with the characters, all right? Even if it's not her, because she's not really known for her combat. But it's the friends around her that were just doing their thing in season 1. But in season 2, yeah, there's some action here and there. All right. But it's just nothing to it. There's nothing to it this time around for me. It really is just like, it was just something that led to more jokes. Which is the same thing with season 1, but in season 1 it seemed like there was more impact behind those action scenes. Season 2, not so much. And I just, that kind of just made me nod off a little bit too. All right, hate to say it. Another thing that I did not like about this show, like I said in the beginning, the lead character had the best things going about her backstory and the dramatics and the sad things that were happening and just the deepness behind everything that was happening with her family. When it came to other characters' storyline, it wasn't that good. Okay, I'm talking about Rosa Perez. I'm talking about Sozaya, my man. Okay, Sozaya and her man and what's going on between those two. I don't care. I really did not care. All right, Rosa Perez too. Her character's not that important to me. It's just not that good. It's actually, I could do without it. Put somebody else there and it would be just as good as a show. Just to be honest with that. I'm just being honest with that, okay? Last negative for this, man. This tried to bring a sudden twist towards the end. All right. After everything was said or you think everything's said and done, something else happens. And I think they did this on the last season. But the last season's twist was actually good. It was actually good. If you don't remember, I'm not going to mention it again. You got to go back and watch that. Go back and watch that last twist. But for this season, the last twist, it meant absolutely nothing to me. It was pointless all the way. There was no reason at all to involve this twist. I don't know why they did it. I think it was just to wrap everything up with the I'd say the whole conscience battle she was having, the whole struggle with her conscience, I guess. But that's it. Whatever is going on with that, because they did the same thing last season for her to stop seeing the dead guys' souls and all that. He had to wrap it up. You had to find a way to make her mind stop seeing this. So that's the same thing with this. But they could have done this a whole lot better. It's could have a better way to do it, okay, than what you did. Because that was wasting a lot of my time. Just get to the end of it. And the end was so corny. And I almost forgot to mention, there was, when it came to the dramatics, there was way too much crying going on. I have to mention that. I got to put that somewhere in there. She did a lot of crying. A lot of crying at spots where it was not needed. Okay? So I did not appreciate that at all. Didn't. And for that, I gotta give this an I. Yes, an I. The thing with this, I wasn't even expecting them to have a season 2 for this show. All right? I thought it was just a one and done. It was okay for season 1. It was all right. It was okay because she was such a train wreck, all right, and a mess. But you brought it back out again. All right. The only interesting thing, the most interesting thing about her character is her ability to just ruin everything in her path. That's the only thing that's great at watching this. All right. Want you to subscribe, hit that like button, and you better share this.